Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise and give you some critical insights for your world. So did you know most of us actually spend more time picking a show on Netflix or whatever than we do analyzing the really big financial decisions,
Yeah.
the ones that actually shape our future?
It's kind of wild when you think about it like that, isn't it?
It really is. But today, we're going to change that. We're unlocking something called the Life Investment Matrix. It's this powerful framework. It's backed by a lot of research, actually. And it completely redefines how you look at every single dollar you spend. It's about getting past that basic question, can I afford it? And starting to understand how the exact same purchase can either, secretly drain your wealth or seriously accelerate it.
And that right there, that's the core difference. Real financial success.
Yeah.
It isn't just about how much you earn or getting lucky. It's about having a system, a way to categorize your financial choices. The research on this is really clear. People who succeed financially, they understand this crucial difference between just expenses, investments, and then what we're calling wealth destroyers.
Wealth destroyers. Okay.
And this isn't just some theory. They actively figure out the life-adjusted returns on their big purchases. They apply this strategic thinking that, well, we want to equip you with today.
Okay, let's make this real. Let's unpack this with a story. Meet Marcus. He's 32, software developer, pulling in about $85,000 a year.
Okay. Pretty good income.
Yeah, exactly. And on paper, he looked like he was doing everything right. Maxing out his 401k, living below his means, had a solid emergency fund, all the stuff you're supposed to do.
The checklist.
Right. But Marcus felt stuck, like he was just running on a financial treadmill. He described it as making defensive decisions.
Just trying not to lose money.
Exactly. Instead of proactively building wealth. He'd see friends, making these bold career moves, buying property, starting side businesses.
And he's wondering, what am I missing here?
Totally. And his big breakthrough, it came when he stopped asking that standard question, can I afford this?
Yeah.
And instead he started asking, what's the life-adjusted return on this decision? That one little shift in perspective. Game changer.
And Marcus's situation, it's incredibly common. It lines up perfectly with broader research. Studies looking at how people build wealth, they found this kind of counterintuitive thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest difference maker. It wasn't how much people earned. It was how they categorized and analyzed their financial choices. Professor Senthil Mullainathan, his work in scarcity, really highlights this. He found that people who think systematically, they consistently outperform higher earners who just kind of rely on intuition.
Wow. How much outperform?
Get this. Over 15 years, these systematic thinkers, they built up 240% more wealth.
240%. That's huge.
It's massive. And here's the really interesting part. They weren't playing it super safe or conservative. They were strategic.
Yep.
They actually took bigger but calculated risks in areas with high potential returns. But, and this is key, they were absolutely ruthless about cutting out those wealth destroyers. This whole miscategorization thing, it's a huge problem. It underlines why something like, 40% of Americans can't even handle a $400 surprise expense.
Yeah, I've seen that stat. It's sobering.
It really is. It's not just about your paycheck. It's about how you think about what you spend.
That statistic is powerful. It really drives home why this framework matters so much. So, okay, let's get into it. What is this life investment matrix that turned things around for Marcus?
It's actually pretty simple at its core, but like you said, profound. Basically, every single financial decision you make, it falls into one of just 3 distinct categories.
3 categories. Got it.
Exactly. Let's break them down because understanding these is, well, it's the foundation of this whole systematic approach. First up, category 1, wealth destroyers.
Okay, the bad guys.
Yeah, you could say that. These are the purchases that lose value almost immediately. And they offer no real long-term return. Think about a brand new car driving off the lot.
Instantly worth less.
Exactly, like 20% depreciation, boom. Or, those fancy dinners out all the time, designer clothes you wear twice, gadgets that are cool for 6 months and sit in a drawer, forgotten subscriptions.
Oh, the subscriptions.
Right. The systematic approach here, minimize them. Ruthlessly. Set a strict budget cap, maybe say 15 or 20% of your after-tax income, and just stick to it.
Okay, minimize ruthlessly. Category 1, what's next?
Category 2, life maintenance expenses. These are, well, necessary costs. They maintain your current life, your ability to earn money, but they don't directly build wealth themselves.
So like rent, groceries.
Pretty much. Basic housing, reliable transportation. Notice I said reliable, not brand new health insurance. Professional clothes if you need them for work. A reasonable food budget, stuff like that.
Right, the essentials to keep things running.
Exactly. And the goal here isn't to eliminate them, obviously. It's to optimize them. You want good value, good quality without overspending. So maybe it's that reliable used car instead of the latest model. Or renting in a good school district, but not stretching yourself thin to do it.
Optimize, not eliminate.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And the third one?
And then we get to the exciting one, category 3, life investments.
Ah, okay. This sounds like where the growth happens.
This is exactly where it happens. These are the purchases that actually generate returns over time, or they increase your ability to earn more money, or they provide compound benefits down the road. This is where strategic thinkers really focus their resources, their capital.
So give me some examples. What falls into life investments?
Okay, so education that genuinely boosts your earning power, not just any degree, but targeted skills. Investing in your own business or someone else's. Real estate, but in markets likely to appreciate. Tools that actually make you more productive. Even things like health investments or networking effectively.
Interesting. So it's broader than just stocks and bonds.
Much broader. And here's the really critical insight, the thing that trips people up. The very same purchase can fall into different categories depending entirely on how you use it.
How so?
Take a, say, $3,000 laptop. If you buy it mainly to stream movies and browse social media, well, sorry, that's probably a wealth destroyer.
Okay.
But if you use that exact same $3,000 laptop to learn coding, launch a side business, or dramatically boost your productivity at your main job, now it's transformed. It's become a life investment.
Wow. So the intent and the use are everything.
Precisely. Context completely redefines the value in this framework.
That distinction is huge. And Marcus's story, it really shows this matrix in action, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
He did this audit, looked at his spending, and realized he was just blowing like $800 a month on wealth destroyers, things he didn't even value that much.
Yeah, that's often how it is. Little things add up.
Right. So he got ruthless, like you said,
Yeah.
cut that down to $300.
Yeah.
That freed up $500 every single month.
Okay, real money.
Real money. And then he deliberately, intentionally redirected that $500 into category 3, life investments. He took online courses to upgrade his programming skills, went to industry networking events, which he used to think were a waste of time.
Big mistake.
Yeah. And eventually, he used that momentum, that new knowledge, to start a freelance consulting gig on the side.
And the result?
The result was incredible. Within 18 months, that freelance business was bringing in an extra $2,000 a month.
Wow. From a $500 a month shift.
Exactly. You do the math, that's a 400% annual return on that initial $500 he redirected each month, just by recategorizing and reallocating.
That's phenomenal, and it perfectly illustrates this next key idea.
Which is the compound decision effect, right?
You got it. Every single financial choice you make, big or small, it either speeds you up or slows you down on the path to your goals. It affects your future options.
So it's not just about the money today, it's about the doors it opens or closes tomorrow.
Precisely. So think about that traditional question. Can I afford this $40,000 car?
Yeah, based on the monthly payment, usually.
Right. But the strategic thinker asks something different. They ask, what's the opportunity cost of locking up $40,000 in an asset that's going down in value for the next 5 years?
Ah, okay. What else could that money be doing?
Exactly. Let's look at Marcus's car calculation. He actually ran the numbers.
Okay.
Option A, the $40,000 new car. Payments, insurance, maintenance. Over 5 years, the total cost was around $48,000. And the car was then worth maybe $15,000, so the net cost for transportation, about $33,000, plus the asset value dropped like a rock.
Okay, 33 grand gone, essentially.
Right. Option B, he found a reliable used car for $12,000, perfectly good transportation. This choice freed up about $500 a month compared to the new car payment scenario.
The same $500 he redirected before.
The very same. Now, what happens if he invests that $500 difference consistently, say at a reasonable 7% annual return? After 5 years, just that invested difference grew to about $35,000.
Wow. So instead of being $33,000 down, he's $35,000 up, plus he still has a car.
You're seeing it? But wait, it gets better. The compound decision effect plays out long term. That $35,000 left to grow until Marcus retires, that single decision difference between the new car and the used car plus investing, it could be worth somewhere around $280,000.
$250,000 from one car decision.
From one single strategic decision amplified by compounding over decades. That's the power we're talking about.
Okay, that's incredibly compelling.
Yeah.
So how do we consistently make those better decisions? You mentioned Marcus had a framework.
He did. He developed these 5 questions, his major decision framework, that he started asking himself before any significant purchase, let's say. Anything over maybe $500 or $1,000, depending on your situation.
Okay, what are they?
Right. Number 1, what category does this fall into? Is it a wealth destroyer, life maintenance, or a life investment? Be honest.
Got it. Categorize first.
Second, what's the total cost of ownership over its useful life? Not just the sticker price. Think maintenance, subscriptions, insurance, repairs, all of it.
The hidden costs.
Yeah. Third, what else could I do with this money? What are the alternative uses, especially ones that could generate returns or compound benefits? That's the opportunity cost question.
Okay. Yeah.
Fourth, how does this decision affect my future options? Does it increase my flexibility, my earning potential? Or does it tie me down, limit my choices?
Future options. Crucial.
And number 5, this one's interesting. What would a CEO do? If your life was a business with limited resources and a goal of growth and maximizing returns, how would a strategic CEO analyze this spending decision?
Huh. I like that one. Thinking like a CEO of Me Inc.
Exactly. It forces a level of objectivity. This framework helps you see that sometimes things that seem expensive up front, like specific training, might actually be incredible bargains because of the long-term return.
While some affordable little things are just silently destroying wealth.
Precisely. Now let's apply this. Let's take one of the biggest decisions most people make. Housing.
Oh, yeah. The rent versus buy debate. We always hear stuff like, rent is just throwing money away.
Yeah.
Or buy as much house as you can possibly afford.
Right, that conventional wisdom. But when you look at it through this strategic life investment lens, well, it often doesn't stack up quite so neatly.
So how did Marcus analyze it?
He actually faced this choice. He was comparing renting an apartment for maybe $1,800 a month versus buying a house, a $350,000 house, where the total monthly cost, mortgage, taxes, insurance, estimated maintenance was closer to $2,800.
Okay, so $1,000 difference per month. Conventional wisdom says buy, build equity.
That's what it screams. But Marcus used the framework. He saw that $1,000 difference not as money thrown away on rent, but as a strategic investment opportunity.
Ah, okay. Opportunity cost again.
Big time. Renting, for him at that point, offered flexibility. If a great job opportunity came up in another city, he could just go. No hassle of selling a house. And that $1,000 a month difference, if he invested it systematically, again, let's use 7%, over 5 years, that's potentially $70,000 built up.
70 grand versus maybe some equity in a house, but also being tied down.
Exactly. Buying meant locking up a big chunk of capital in the down payment, less mobility, exposure to market downturns, unexpected repair bills, liquidity issues. His analysis wasn't just about the monthly payment. It was about the total life impact, the flexibility, the opportunity cost.
So for him, at that specific time,
renting actually came out as the wealth-accelerating choice. Now, that doesn't mean renting is always better. For a family planning to stay put for 10, 15 years, the math might look very different.
right, it's not a one-size-fits-all answer.
Not at all. The framework isn't prescriptive. It doesn't tell you what to decide. It gives you the tools for how to analyze it for your unique situation and goals.
That's a really important takeaway. It's about the process of deciding. And this same strategic thinking, it must apply just as much to career and education choices, right? Which you mentioned could be the highest ROI investments we make.
Oh, absolutely. Potentially the highest leverage decisions of all. Marcus faced this too when he was considering going back for a master's degree.
Okay, common scenario. What was the traditional thinking versus the matrix thinking?
Well, the traditional thought is pretty straightforward. Advanced degrees always lead to higher salaries.
Right.
More education equals more money.
Yeah, that's the general assumption.
But when Marcus applied the matrix, he shifted his question. He didn't just assume. He asked, okay, what's the actual risk-adjusted return on this specific educational investment for me right now?
So he ran the numbers on the masters?
He did. He calculated the cost, maybe $60,000 in tuition, plus about $40,000 in reduced income while studying. So $100,000 total investment, roughly.
Okay, hefty investment.
Very. And the projected salary increase,
Yep.
maybe $15,000 a year, best case scenario. So the break-even point was nearly 7 years down the line. And that's assuming he got that raise, that the degree was valued as expected. Lots of assumptions, lots of risk.
7 years to just break even.
Exactly. So he looked for alternatives using the same framework. Instead of the Broadmasters, he identified specific technical certifications that were in really high demand in his field. He spent about $5,000 on those.
5,000 versus 100,000. Big difference.
Huge. And the result? Because those skills were so targeted and in demand, his income increased by $12,000 within 1 year.
Wow. So the ROI.
Was about 240% in the first year alone. It just powerfully shows that not all education spending is a good life investment.
Right. There's a difference.
Absolutely.
Right.
You've got high ROI learning, specific applicable skills, recognized certifications the market actually values, knowledge you can use to create multiple income streams, training that makes you indispensable, and then you have potentially low ROI learning. Maybe generic degrees that don't differentiate you, super expensive programs for stuff you could learn online, credentials that don't actually move the needle on income. It's about calculated returns, not just collecting diplomas.
That makes so much sense. Calculate the return.
Yeah.
Okay, I can already hear some people listening, though. Maybe thinking things like, okay, guys, this sounds like it makes money way too important, or you can't put a price on happiness.
Yep, common objections.
Or maybe, what about just enjoying life now? And maybe even, honestly, this just sounds complicated.
Totally fair points. Let's address them, because the research actually gives us some good answers here.
Okay, first one. This sounds like you're obsessed with money.
Right, and the counterintuitive answer is no, this approach actually makes you intentional about money, not obsessed. When you handle finances systematically, it often leads to less financial stress, not more. It frees up mental energy, gives you more time for relationships, hobbies, things you actually care about, because the money part is running smoothly in the background.
Okay, so less stress, more intention. What about you can't put a price on happiness?
Well, actually, you kind of can, and probably should. Research consistently shows that spending on experiences, on relationships, on things that give you more time, that yields much higher long-term life satisfaction than just buying more material stuff.
Right, the experiences over things idea.
Exactly. And the systematic approach, it helps you consciously invest more in those high satisfaction categories, because you're not frittering money away on the wealth destroyers.
Okay, so it supports happiness, doesn't deny it. What about enjoying life now? Is this all just about deprivation for some future payoff?
Not at all. It's about optimization, not deprivation. Remember, Marcus. By ruthlessly cutting out the wealth destroyers, the stuff he didn't even value that much, he freed up money for both life investments and meaningful experiences. He actually spends more on travel and things he enjoys now than he did before.
Because he stopped wasting it elsewhere.
Precisely. He optimized. And finally, the "it's too complicated" objection.
Yeah, this might feel overwhelming.
Look, you're already making these decisions every single day. You're just doing it intuitively, maybe subconsciously. This framework, it just makes the process conscious and strategic. It might take, 10 minutes to analyze a major decision, but those 10 minutes can prevent decades of financial regret down the line. It's about being proactive, not just reacting to whatever comes along.
That reframing is really helpful. It's not more work, it's smarter work. So, okay, for listeners who are nodding along thinking, all right, I'm ready to try this, how do they actually start? Give us an actionable plan.
Okay, let's break it down into maybe a 3 or 4 week plan. Simple steps.
Perfect. Week 1.
Week 1, the financial audit. Just track. For 1 full week, maybe 2, track every single dollar you spend. No judgment, just data collection. Then categorize each expense using our 3 categories: wealth destroyer, life maintenance, or life investment.
Be honest.
Be brutally honest with yourself. Then calculate the percentages. What slice of your income is going into each bucket? This step is just about clarity. Identifying your biggest wealth destroyers is key.
Okay, audit and categorize. Week 2.
Week 2, the optimization phase. Now that you have the data, set a specific budget cap for those wealth destroyers. Aim for maybe 15–20% of your after-tax income, like we mentioned. Then look hard at your life maintenance costs. Where can you optimize? Can you get a better deal on insurance? Cut unused subscriptions, bundle services.
Find savings in the necessary stuff.
Exactly. And critically, start identifying potential life investment opportunities. What skills could you learn? What side hustle could you start? Where could you strategically deploy capital?
Okay, set caps, optimize maintenance, identify investments. Weeks 3 and 4.
Weeks 3 and 4. The strategic reallocation. This is where the action happens. Start redirecting the money you saved from cutting wealth destroyers and optimizing maintenance. Move it towards those life investments you identified.
Make the shift.
Make the shift. And, crucially, set up automatic transfers. Automate moving that money into investment accounts or savings designated for specific goals. This prevents lifestyle creep where you just accidentally spend the money you saved.
Automate, automate, automate.
Yes, and use this time to really research those specific investment opportunities, whether it's courses, business tools, index funds, whatever aligns with your analysis.
That sounds doable. Audit, optimize, reallocate. And throughout this, keep asking those 5 questions for big purchases.
Absolutely. For any significant decision, maybe over $500 or whatever feels right for you, run it through the major decision framework. Remember, 1, what category? 2, total cost of ownership. 3, alternative uses, opportunity cost. 4, impact on future options. 5, what would a CEO do? The goal here isn't about being stingy or cheap. It's about being strategic. It's about consciously optimizing your resources for long-term wealth, yes, but also for deep personal life satisfaction, not just pinching pennies today.
You know what Marcus apparently realized after about a year doing this systematic thinking, is that the life investment matrix, it isn't really about money at the end of the day.
Oh, what's it about then?
It's about options. Every single financial choice you make either expands your future options or shrinks them. Wealth destroyers, they lock you in, reduce your choices. Life investments, they multiply your options.
That's a powerful way to put it.
When you build these systematic financial habits, you suddenly create freedom. Freedom to take a calculated career risk, freedom to move for an amazing opportunity, freedom to start that business you've been dreaming about. The people who get ahead aren't always the highest earners. They're the ones who consistently maintain the most options because they allocate their resources strategically.
Your money becomes a tool.
Exactly. A tool to build the life you actually want. And like any tool, it works best when you use it with intention, with strategy, not just randomly.
Marcus's transformation really proves that principle. Strategic allocation creates compound advantages. It builds momentum.
Speaking of compound advantages, even the smartest financial plan can only do so much if you're fundamentally in the wrong career or job situation.
True. It's all connected.
So next week, we're going to take this strategic thinking and apply it directly to your professional life. We'll use startup analysis concepts to look at your career and reveal why something like 73% of Americans might be essentially running failing businesses disguised as jobs. You really don't want to miss that deep dive.
That sounds fascinating. Applying business strategy to career strategy.
It's going to be eye-opening. So your challenge for this week, before we get to careers, do that financial audit we talked about. Just track and categorize your expenses. Identify your biggest wealth destroyers. Don't even worry about changing anything yet. Just get the clarity. Knowledge really is power here, and knowing where you stand is that critical first step.
Absolutely. Remember, your financial decisions, they are far too important to just make intuitively or on autopilot. Tapping into the power of systematic thinking, that's what truly unlocks your potential for long-term freedom and ultimately satisfaction.
So if this systematic approach, this matrix thinking, resonates with you, here's what I need you to do right now. First, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss next week's deep dive on career strategy. Seriously, it could be the most valuable 20 minutes you spend all year. Second, scroll down and comment. What did your audit reveal? What's your biggest wealth destroyer right now? What category is holding you back? Share it below. I'll jump in and respond with some specific ideas for your situation. And third, please share this deep dive. Send it to someone you know who's maybe frustrated with their financial progress, even if they earn a decent income. Sometimes people just need permission to stop following outdated conventional wisdom and start thinking strategically.
Permission to be the CEO of their own life.
Exactly. Your life is a startup. Every financial decision is a resource allocation choice. And the research is undeniable. The people who treat their money systematically don't just end up with more wealth. They create more options, more freedom, and ultimately the ability to design the life they truly desire.
Thank you for watching Life is Startup. Harvard-backed strategies for success. The money equation nobody teaches. See you in the next episode.